Yeah.
All right, we'll give the cameras in the back just a second.
Get you one, Edgar.
I don't know that I can wear that until I retire.
Go good?
Did you hear this? Xavier Anderson tried to give me his beanie the other day. What a nice
Hey, great kid.
My God, I can't believe it.
Whenever you're ready, Coop.
All right, I think big thing here is very proud of the team. I thought our staff did a really good job from a leadership perspective throughout the week. And then I saw ownership from the players. I think those two things in particular work together to help our team play. Not what I would describe as a complete game, but we're getting closer. I thought we played physical in the game. I think when you look at the tape, I think you see that. It's third week in a row we haven't turned the ball over, which I think is a little bit more of who we want to be. For the defense to respond at halftime and go shut them out in the second half, I thought was positive. We had a 156-yard advantage in the special teams hidden yards there, which was huge in the game. And certainly had some guys step up, right? Some guys that maybe got their first opportunity. So tough place to play. Certainly a pivotal moment to some degree, I think, for our team. But to see what I would call a healthy response after two losses in a row, I think was really good. So I need to build off of that, use some of that momentum. Certainly need to continue to challenge the accountability. And really, I think we're developing some leadership amongst the players, which I think has been big. South Carolina's got a very talented team. I think this is a team that has a good group of veteran players, combination of players that they recruited high school and transfers. Since I think they're 5-1 won 5 out of the last 6. You see the effort on the tape. Certainly, Coach Beamer, we have a ton of respect for what he's created there and what he continues to build there. So this is a team that is very capable. They've got some really unique matchup players, individual players that I think can present a number of challenges. So big day in the Swamp, obviously sold out. We announced that last week. It's going to be senior day for 17 guys. Certainly always an emotional time for those players in particular. So I think the good thing I see from our players is we've got a group that wants to send this group out the right way. It's also going to be a salute to those who serve, right? So we're going to be recognizing military appreciation, first responders, and this is an initiative that will continue in the future. We'll do a number of things with the team throughout the week relative to inviting people to practice, exposing them to different speakers, really important to me in terms of creating a level of respect here and a gratitude for some of these things that I really believe we take for granted at times. So great week, one that I think we get to celebrate a lot of people who live a life of service, and certainly excited about, the last home game, last opportunity to play in front of our fans. So what do we got here?
What would you pinpoint about this team's ability to rally from deficits?
I think we've worked hard on the connection part, the relationship part. Brotherhood is a term that was used last week to kind of describe, what we're trying to create here. So I think that there's also a level of they're starting to understand the football component a little bit more. So I think it's easier to maintain your poise when you understand what happened, why it happened, what you can do to fix it. And I think we're starting to get to that point. So the defense would be a great example of that. I think they understood what the issues were, and they knew they could go in the locker room, adjust, and then fix it in the second half.
You were talking about building. How big is it for the team to finish one of these? I mean, you've rallied several times in SEC games and not finished.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think, you can't put a price tag on it. You know, I mean, I think it's certainly really valuable given where we were at. You know, as a team, I think that's huge. Can't put a price on that.
You talked about, after the Georgia game, about turning the corner. Is what you saw in the second half the example of what you had been seeing building up to that point?
Getting closer. I really believe that. You know, I think to go 3 and out, to get a big punt return, to put a touchdown on the board, you know, I think when we had lost the momentum right there at the end of the half. So, yeah, I mean, I think what I'm seeing is kind of what I described after the game, that human element. You know, we spend a ton of time on scheme, fundamentals, situational football. We lift weights, we run, we focus on all different forms of development physically, okay? But I think that team dynamic, you know, the quote-unquote culture or brotherhood, however you want to describe that, the expectation from each other, right? The accountability at the player level, right? Actually, I'm not necessarily worried about my coach getting on me, but I'm worried about letting my teammate down. I think there's a place in this game for an elite team. You got to have that, right? And I think that's what we've been working hard on. You're starting to see some of that show up, I think.
How do you feel about the running back rotation at this point? It's kind of evolved to Trevor and Montrell. Is that kind of the way you see it the rest of the way, or how do you view that?
Yeah, no, I think those two guys have been a huge bright spot relative to what we've been able to do offensively. No question. 2 new players, both of which are getting more comfortable, very capable. You know, both are smart players. Both are very consistent in their work ethic, their practice habits, their prep during the week. They've got discipline. They take care of themselves. They both have character, and they certainly have been very productive. So, and, you know, we've rolled the other guys in at times, you know, but I think when those two, we kind of saw it, they were both in a good place Saturday. We were able to continue to feature those guys, so it was good.
People talk about the defense and how it changed first half to second half and the adjustments that were made. I'm curious how much of it was actual X and O percentage-wise versus just guys playing better?
Yeah, I think maybe a few adjustments, but primarily just 11 for 11 execution, you know. I think that was the thing that was a little bit frustrating for the players and staff. Is like we're in some great positions, you know, and we got one guy who's short, you know. So, you know, you got to play well at every level, and then, you know, we were in a lot of plays where one guy's making a mistake and it was getting exposed, right? Whether it's gap integrity, eye discipline. So I think ultimately they knew and understood what was happening out there, right? So that was the thing that was really cool to me to see, is they were vocal at the half about what needed to be addressed amongst themselves, right? I think that's when, you know, I think you're making progress. So the staff and players were well aware of what the issues were.
Is there any concern about the illness that was going around Texas A&M? Not that it really matters, but last year, South Carolina game was actually a flu game for Florida.
Yeah, no, we don't put our stuff out there, but we've had our issues as well here the last few weeks. So it's that time of the year, right? You know, so I think the big thing is, you know, having the discipline to do the things you need to do to take care of yourself and get yourself prepared to play. So it is what it is. We've had our issues along the way, but it's part of the game. It happens every year to every team, right? So big thing is the guys that get opportunities, they step up and do what they can do to contribute to the team.
Torrance was named SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. He's playing at an All-American level. Was there any question in your mind, him stepping up from playing the Sun Belt to playing the SEC, would he be able to make that transition?
No question for me. You know, I mean, I think we played a number of Power 5 opponents at the other stop. He always played really well. Guy's 6'5". He's 335 pounds. He's got 11-inch hand. You know, he's got long arms. He's got more lean mass on his body than any player on our team. You know, he's He's a big-time player. And more importantly, as he has discipline, he has character. You know, he's tough. He's a very consistent worker. He's durable. And football comes easy to him. You know, he processes really well. He's a good communicator. It's really been a big deal. One of the reasons we played well up front is I think his ability to translate because he had played in the system.
Those who serve, I know you have a vet in Lamar on your staff, and can you just tell me a little bit why it means so much to you and why you put this kind of emphasis, you know, on a game every year?
You know, I just think, you know, when you're in the coaching profession, I think you've got an opportunity. You work with young people. There's some things that you really want to impress upon them. I think this is something that's very important. It gets overlooked. I mean, I think we all can agree that at times we're walking around living life and we don't really appreciate that we have a set of people that risk their life every day. They chose that path, right, that career, a path where they put themselves at risk every day, right? So, ton of respect for that, right? And I think it's, you know, it's one of the things that we can do independent of football that I think can create good, right? A place where we respect and appreciate what we have, right? And I think that want to do that each year and celebrate these people, right? I think they're deserving.
How much time do you spend during the season on roster management? Is it a daily thing, and does it ramp up this time of year when you talk getting closer to senior day, guys maybe going pro, guys maybe in the portal, those things?
Yeah, no, I think it's something I think about every day, you know, because I think you're always trying to, you know, take that wet towel and get every single drop you can get out of it, right? So we get 85 scholarship players. We're trending towards having 50 walk-ons. You know, we're not quite there yet, but in that perfect world, we've got 135 players, and you know, you'd like each one of those to be the best they can be, right? So it's a big jigsaw puzzle. Certainly when you take over a program, there's a lot more that comes with that. So it's a big math problem that is very fluid, and certainly as this time of the year, in today's era, even more than ever, right? So
COVID year too, right?
yeah, a lot of variables that contribute to that. You know, and I would tell you that I think it was one of the reasons we had success at the previous stop is we worked really hard at that component. You know, there's a lot of rules, a lot of things that contribute to that.
Do you have it on a big board or is it on a binder?
Yeah, we've got lots of ways that we keep up with it. We've got a very systematic approach, but it's something that we've refined. I mean, that's one of the great things about those jobs, those G5 jobs. I mean, you got to become an expert in that area. It'll be beneficial for us.
Speaking of walk-ons, your kicking situation, Adam, it's been kind of an up and down year for him. I mean, he makes a 52-yarder and he misses a 28-yarder. How do you evaluate where you are with that situation?
No, I mean, I think we've still got a lot of confidence in Adam. You know, and he no different than any other player on our team. I think we do well at times, and then sometimes we don't quite do what we're supposed to do. So much like you write a good article occasionally you write a bad article, right? So, but
You're obviously a Sun Raider.
Adam is, you know, he's a very talented young man, and nobody wants to do it more for his teammates than he does, right? So he stepped up. He had to kick off in the game and did a really good job against a returner that obviously was very capable. So forced some fair catches there, and when we did have to cover him, we had a good kick, able to cover the kick. So we believe in him.
Scored opponents 38-14 in the last half of the last two games. How do you get a full game?
Yeah, no, I woke up thinking about that. That's who we are, right? That's where we're at. I think we're still chasing that, right? Can we put it together possession after possession? You know, I think we are taking care of the ball better on offense, right? Which is really, if you look at our teams, that's the way we play. We're getting takeaways. You know, we're just we got a lot of work to do. You know, I think, and I really believe, you know, I know you guys don't like to write about this, but it's the human element part of the game. That's just who we are right now. You know, we're working on that component of our team. You know, the football, I think, will take care of itself as that becomes more of who we want to be.
We'll finish with Matt in a minute. I'm sure you saw yesterday that USF fired Jeff Scott. You've known him a long time. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's a tough profession, you know, and I feel, you know, Jeff, a little bit of a tough dynamic given his first year being the COVID year, right? You know, so 3 years in, Jeff's a great coach, right? I think just he'll bounce back. It's reality in this profession, you know, but no one works harder or takes more pride in trying to do their job for others than Jeff Scott. I can promise you that.
What was it like meeting Emmett?
Yeah, no, Emmett was great, man, you know. For a guy my age, that's pretty, you know, when Emmett Smith walks up on you, that's pretty impactful. But, you know, Emmett did a lot for this place, right? I mean, I think, you know, he had an unbelievable career after the University of Florida, but when you think about his impact here as a player, I'm hopeful to see him around more often. You know, this is a place he's welcome. Did a lot for the place, and certainly we're trying to create an environment where those guys that played here can come back anytime they want to. So
First game start, he ran for what, 239 at Alabama or something?
we need more of those.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.
How y'all doing today?
Our guys are joined by Antoine Powell, Brian Lee Jr. We'll open up the questions.
Town now. Did you expect this?
No, not really. I mean, coming in, I know I had to, you know, play my role, so it was kind of, you know, it come with it when kind of.
Were there nerves, butterflies going in? Take us through that.
I mean, not really, because like, I mean, I've been playing all season, so I mean, like being a starter, I mean, it's just going out there first. So.
You guys have rallied a few times in SEC games, but not finished. How big was it to close one of those?
It was big because that just shows how much we got. That just shows what we can do, and I know we'll be able to do that for 4 quarters.
Take us through the strip sack, what you saw there and how you were able to.
So, I mean, I felt like it was a mismatch on me and the guard, you know, so I slammed in, made a move on him, and getting a sack. You know.
How did that feel to make that kind of play in that kind of moment?
It felt real good, very good.
What is it going to take, do you think, for you guys to play a full game of defense the way you did the second half against the Aggies?
I just feel like we just need to come in, like, from the jump, pumped up, riled up, because at halftime we had to get right with each other. Like, we had to get each other, we had to get together, talk to each other, make sure we was good, like, telling each other, let's go, like, because we knew that coming in we could win, like, we could beat these guys.
What's the senior class meant to you?
Oh, the senior class mean a lot. Every last one of them, they touched me every way. Like, coming in, it was no problem. Like, they all welcomed me in. No Ventura, Bernie, all those guys, and wonderful guys.
Who's been maybe one or two? I mean, you mentioned those two, but have they been the main mentors? Who have you looked up to among those guys?
I mean, Ventura Miller for sure, because, I mean, he's the heart of the team for sure. So I try to, you know, pick up from whatever I can get from him to try to help him out, make his job easier.
What stands out to you about him? I mean, just watching a couple of those plays out in the flat the other day, just his relentlessness, but
Yeah.
what stands out about them?
Everything that he does, he work hard at it, and he gonna tell you that he's working hard. He gonna show it.
Understanding what you guys needed to do, and Billy said the same thing, that you guys kind of took that upon yourselves. Do you feel as though the defense maybe kind of turned a corner there in terms of communication with one another?
Yes, I feel like in the second half we kind of came. We was more together more. You started talking more. We was, pumping each other up every play after every series and all that.
In the locker room at halftime, who's the one that just really kind of grabbed you by the lapels and said, we got to change?
All of us, like the whole defense, like Ventura especially though, he sent a hard message telling us, let's go. Like we can deal with these guys. Like we can really shut them out.
He's kind of a quiet guy when he's in front of us. How is he in the locker room at half? Does he get pretty kind of fired up and everything?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's fired up, especially when it's not going the way it's supposed to go.
Billy called him an alpha after the game. Have you noticed any other, maybe even young players, step up as an alpha in that sense?
I want to say, I know like Shamar is a really good player. He really got the potential to be very good. So I feel like if he just keep working, following Ventura footsteps, he can be crazy.
How'd you find out about Britton last week? And who was the first person who said, okay, this is basically your chance for more?
Coach Peterson, he was telling me that basically he was just like, get ready to play. Because, he said he knew I was ready, but it was just a matter of time when I was going to go.
Did you think you were ready?
Yes, I knew I was ready. I don't never say I'm not ready. I'm always ready whenever. So,
Once the game was over, did you feel, not that you doubted going in, but did you feel validated in a way and even more confident now?
Yeah, confident for sure. I'm even more confident for sure. It's like when I got it, kind of gave me something that made me want to work harder. So I guess that's a good thing.
Where would you like to see your game improve?
Everything. I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now. As far as, anything like setting the edge, pass rushing, I feel like I can get better in everything.
Last game in the swamp for this season, what do you expect? It sounds like it's sold out, and just how important is it for you guys to send the seniors?
It's very important to send the seniors out hard with a good one, a very good one, just to show them how we appreciate them, and we can definitely get this win.
Have the issues on defense been more between the ears or physical, do you think?
Yeah, I feel like it's just the communication. I feel like we don't at times we don't communicate enough.
Virginia, right?
Yes.
Who else?
Dorian Finney-Smith. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks. He actually went here to play basketball. Yeah, we from like the exact same place. I watched him play basketball growing up at the high school we went to.
Any impact on you? Did him come here have any impact?
Seeing him come here, yeah, but of course he rooting for me. Like he supported me as in like wherever I wanted to go, because it wasn't just about this, but this is school, so he really wanted me to come here.
He's probably 10 years older than you. Did you guys ever play pickup basketball together?
Nah, I don't think I would want that anyway.
Basketball with Boo's AAU team there?
No, I never played AAU basketball.
You surprised how well he's done?
No, not at all. I feel like he can do even more. He's just getting warmed up.
You have any contact with him now?
Sometimes, we talk here and there, not really too much. He got stuff going on. Of course I do too.
I was just going to say the whole Tidewater area. You're only 20 miles from Virginia Beach.
Yeah, it's not that far. Yeah, Percy Harvin, he went. Among others. Percy Harvin went here. I remember growing up hearing about him a lot.
Allen Iverson,
Yeah, for sure. He was at Bethel. Yeah. I know Bruce Smith was, he was in Norfolk.
How do you guys, as a defense, kind of bottle what you did in the second half and carry it through for the rest of the season, you think?
Could you repeat that?
How could you guys bottle or, take what you guys did in the second half and carry that through the rest of the season?
I feel like we could definitely build off this. I feel like that this should be a turning point to what we showed that we can do it. So now it's just the fact of doing it every time. And I feel like now that we see it on film, we got no choice but to do it.
The Ron McDonald House and the Bread of the Mighty, just what have you gotten from those experiences, being able to give back?
Yeah, being able to, be with kids that, they like and families that's going through things and try to make their life better. Just by me coming in, I do that any day. So that's easy. Like, it's not really a challenge for me.
Some like self-gratification out of it, just seeing their faces light up because the Florida Gator players come in.
Yeah, so it come like you play for the Gators, so it's a big deal. So that's not really. I go in there any day, chill with the family and all that.
Which you've been able to watch on tape yet, but what do you see when you see Spencer Rattler, the South Carolina quarterback?
I feel like he's a mobile quarterback. He likes to run. I seen him. I remember playing against him in the bowl game against Oklahoma. He's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, I feel like we can get him though.
How strange is that, that you played a guy in a bowl game at another school, and now you'll play him again in conference play?
Yeah, that's wild. It is crazy how that worked. But
Bad taste in your mouth from the game last year.
you said from last year?
Yeah, the South Carolina game last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like we gotta come. Like they come to us, so we gotta deal with. They gotta deal with us, as well as we gotta deal with them.
Time for one more, guys?
I feel like you owe Spencer Rattler one though too from that bowl game.
I mean, I'm thankful that we get to see him again. He's a good player, so I would want to play against a quarterback like that. So we'll see him.
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Really comfortable. You need to get some.
Hi, guys. We're joined by Montreal Johnson Jr. We'll open up questions.
You got 100 yards. How does it feel? How good did it feel in the second half when you guys just are pounding away and you know you're going to get the yards every time you carry?
It felt, really good, going out there, playing in front of, all those people. And it felt really good, to finally come out with a win and, do what I know that we were capable of doing. And, it felt good playing out there.
How important was it to finish a game like that?
It was very important for the program because, we have we had a lot of downsides. It was very important for us to get some momentum going here and finish out the season strong.
What is it, the frustration level when you rally against like 3 very good teams and just can't close the deal, and then then you finally do?
I would say like the frustration level was really high because we know that we had the talent in the room to do it. You know what I mean? We know that we had the players to put it all together. We gotta just keep chomping at the bit and keep getting better.
20 carries, I think you hear sometimes running backs, they kind of want more to get into a rhythm, but there's also a durability issue. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because that was, I guess, a lot of carries for you.
It really didn't seem like a lot of carries like in the moment, but the next day I felt it. my body's really sore. But I'm glad that the coaching staff kept coming to me. I found the rhythm late in the game, and I helped the team win.
How do you feel like the rhythm is going now with you and Trevor, though, in terms of that running back rotation? Seems like you guys are the guys now. What's that responsibility been like for you?
I would say the rhythm has been going great between us two. Trevor is a great player. He's going to be great in the future, and he's great now. I think that going future in the season that we're going to continue to get better, continue to break those long runs that the fans want to see, and we're going to be great for the Gator football.
You're a couple of Louisiana guys too. Is there like some tips you share with them, or is there a little bond that's growing there between the 2 guys, or no?
Trevor kind of gets complacent sometimes, so I kind of tell him that he has to stay focused. He's still young. I'm young as well, but I'm a little ahead of him. But I always tell him that he got to stay focused, and take things step by step, day by day.
How do you guys complement each other as running backs? Or do you feel like your 2 skill sets kind of combine to make you guys such a good tandem?
I think our 2 skill sets, combine really well because he's a very shifty guy, and I kind of call myself a hard-nosed guy. You know what I mean? I get the dirty yards sometimes in the long run sometimes, and he's a guy that's makes guys miss. You know what I mean? Very shifty, like you said, and yeah.
How has the togetherness and the culture of this team improved over the course of the season so far?
It's improved a lot. I think the adversity that we have faced in the season has brought us together a lot. Because of that, we've just focused on staying together and playing ball that we know we could play. You know what I mean? And that's really that's really all it takes. You know what I mean? It takes us to play team ball and come out to win.
On the field.
Shit, where? Just like in hard games, you know what I mean? Like close games, that's when it shows up. It targets like our togetherness, how we're gonna respond, how we're gonna stay together at times. That's when it shows up.
Billy, after the game, said that you and Trevor, that he's starting to see a little bit of the identity of this team based on kind of the way you played. If you guys talked about that, is this like what you guys are trying to become?
Repeat your question, please.
That you guys represented the identity of what he's trying to do here in offensively. Run the football physically, beat teams up.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I really don't know how to answer the question, though. Yeah, we're trying to become, a team that runs the football, that beat up teams and that wear down teams throughout the game. And yeah, I get what you're saying. That's become our identity, and we're slowly becoming that.
What's it like running behind Osiris?
It was great, man. He opens the holes up for me, makes it easy for me. Gets me to the second level, gets me to the guys. I got to make miss. You know what I mean? And it's easier on me.
You're a Nolans guy, and Trevor's a West Louisiana guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you indoctrinated him into the culture of New Orleans a little bit, maybe?
Trevor thinks that his culture is better than my culture. Like, I never knew what Jennings was until I met Trevor actually, and he thinks that their food is better than New Orleans food, and I always tell him that it's not, and we always argue about it and play about it.
It's from mom? Care packages from mom with food?
I need to though. I'm a place the order in.
Aren't up on the Q owners, what is the difference between the cuisines? Here's a hint.
I actually don't know, but I just know that New Orleans is better. That's all I know.
A pivotal day for Anthony, and he's now gone 3 games without a turnover. What have you seen behind the scenes in terms of his confidence or maybe just it clicking?
I just seen him approach practice, with more confidence. He's very how can I say this? Like he's more like shaped into the program, if you know what I mean. Like he's got more comfortable in the program. Like he's played a couple of games, you know what I mean. He knows the offense a little bit better, you know what I mean. And you can see him growing, throughout games, and he's going to be great. We need him back another year. And
Coach, same head coach, and pretty much the same system. What's changed about the way you're running this year versus next year? Are there any different keys, or is it pretty much just year 2 of the same old for you?
Year 2, I've noticed that we're starting to try to pass the ball more than run the ball, and I kind of like that because it takes off the running game. The defenses have to spread the box out and account for everyone that's on the offense, and I enjoy that.
Working with Cybo last year, man, and getting to know him. Did he talk to you much as a freshman before you came over here?
I ain't gonna lie. My freshman year, I was a quiet guy. Like I didn't really know many people. I just stayed in my lane. I just did what the coaches told me to do, and I was just trying to get on the field and be great.
Who came in first? I can't remember.
Cam Waits. Cam Waits came in first. Then I came second, and Cyrus was the last one.
When he got over here, man.
Cyrus? I was just glad. I was glad he came because I didn't know he was gonna come, and he was playing games. He was taking his visits and stuff like that, and I didn't know he was gonna come. And I was just really happy he came.
Based on all the draft analytics and stuff, he's having a great season. Does he look like a lot better player this year than last year, or is he just kind of higher profile?
I think he's gotten better in his off the field things like nutrition. I think he's done well in that. He's very disciplined with that. He always eats salads at lunch, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I just think he's overall got better at his pass blocking as well and run blocking. And I think he's getting better throughout his career.
It's out on him, then.
You guys you had such a good comeback against Tennessee, and it was close. You had the LSU, you came back on them. Georgia, you had a great second half. Is there a feeling among you guys that, look, we can play with anybody if we just get it together between the years?
Yeah, most definitely. We feel like we could play with anyone in the nation. We just gotta tie the things together. Put it piece by piece. Put the pieces into place, and we gotta just continue to play team football, and that's the main key.
What's it gonna take to get there?
Team football. That's gonna be the main focus. The defense got to play along with the offense. You know what I mean? We all got to be one. Like the defense can't have a good game. The defense can have a good game, and the offense can have a bad game. We all got to have a good game, play together as one, and complement each other. And that's what it's going to take.
Offensive line play has obviously been really strong in the run game, but the wide receivers have been great perimeter blocking. What have you seen from that group, and just how important have they been to help you guys out?
I've seen that they've taken on the challenge to go block those safeties for us, and I really appreciate them for doing that. Because it can be hard at times, and I can see that they took on the challenge, and they've done great at that.
Block on Anthony's 60-yard run.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right.
On that zone read play, you carried out the fake so long that the backside safety, even when Anthony was going on the other end, he's coming up off the opposite end to try to tackle you, even though you don't have the ball, man. How much do they emphasize, not just carrying it off for a second, but you carried it for like 2.5, 3 seconds over there?
My running back coach always preached that on play action we have to run the ball, like act like we have run the ball like as if we do, you know what I mean. And that's what I think I did on that run right there, and it helped Anthony out a lot.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you. No, I didn't. I just didn't understand it. That's all.
Hey, by the way, I was looking, five-star restaurants abound in New Orleans, so you can hold that over.